Hello, everyone, and welcome. We've got a Division 7 match here in the quarterfinals. This is Sacred Heart University taking on University of Utah. Let's check in and see how the games are going. Looks like they've just started, and we've got round one underway now. Looks like we've got a very decisive position here for Black. Looks like quite the rating mismatch, actually. Shamas here is representing um, Sacred Heart's board 3. But Sacred Heart has some really strong players of their own as well. In fact, their top board here is Mark, a national master at 2200. He's playing against a 1900 here. This is their board 2 from Utah. So looks like we do have a result here. Resignation. So Solidaire wins. That's Alexander Hall. That's their top board, actually, at 2000. And let's also check in with Brent. Brent is almost 2200. He's been higher for sure. He is the board 2 for Sacred Heart. So really strong top 2 boards for both teams. And we see here this is Pluto, the 4th board for Utah at 820. So definitely going to be tough for Pluto playing against either of the top 2 boards from Sacred Heart. But Sacred Heart also has some lower rated players. Here they have Ryan Richter at 1200, almost 1300, but he's getting pretty beat by Harish Chandra. That is Jack Cook for University of Utah. All right, so we've looked at all of the games, and let's put on a point for Alex. Yes, we do. So Utah is leading right now. I expect both their top 2 boards to win. However, this game, it's not so clear. This is probably the closest matchup here in round one. 1900 versus 2200. It's actually not that far off. So we'll see. Yeah, the next closest match is an 1800 versus 1290. So this is going to be the match of mismatches, perhaps. Uh, but yeah, the closest rating is between Brent and Alex. So 2198 versus 2060. But other than that, I mean, everything else is just a crazy mismatch. So, Sacred Heart, they definitely have improved since last season. Um, and I'm expecting them to do even better next season. So we'll see. This looks like to be mate soon. This king is going to get forced back, and then I don't know. Check here first. Force the king into this position, which makes a lot of sense. Knight f7 check. What a move. What a crazy little move there, huh? What are you going to do? This? Probably? Yeah. Wow. This is a really good technique here from Jack from Utah. So, yeah. Sacred Heart, I met them at Pan Am's. They traveled all the way from Connecticut to Seattle. University of Utah, I met up with their club back when I used to live in Utah. Yeah, Brent is crushing. This game's going to be over very soon. Less than 5 seconds for Pluto. Brent has over 2 minutes. But also looking at the position, Black has just won another piece. So Brent wins by resignation. That ties the score up at 1 point each. All right, and looks like Jack beats whoever he was playing. That must have been Ryan. And yeah, last game we have Mark versus Solon Grover. Solona. So Utah right now has the lead 2-1, but Sacred Heart's top board is probably going to convert this. Let's check it out. So last I looked, the material was relatively even. The position was relatively even. But it looks like we have a knight versus a bad bishop, and this is a big mistake, and the first major mistake of the game. This was already a good position for whites. Everything on light squares, a bad bishop, one could call it, but a bigger mistake here, allowing for the knight discovery on the rook. It looks like there wasn't that much you really could have done here. All right, so We win the exchange, and now the rook is trying to work with the king to potentially infiltrate. And looks like we're going to see exactly just that. Rook forking the king and the bishop. That's going to do it. That's going to win the game. So we should see either resignation. All right, there it is. So Mark ties things up here for his team. 2-2 is the score after the first round. We've got 3 rounds to go. Lots of chess left to be played. This is going to be a close match. Going to be a hard match for us today, says Sevi Levita. Hello, how are you? Who is us? Is that Utah? I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's Utah. But yeah, I mean, Sacred Heart, they're a strong D7 team. This is Mario. Hello, Mario. Mario is our ambassador from the University of Utah. Definitely a very strong club leader, and he runs the University of Utah Chess Club. They just hosted the Intermountain Intercollegiate. What a fun name for a tournament, right? I was thinking, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I just recently connected with the fine gentleman at Chess Dogs, who are also based in Utah. So they're gonna be selling like equipment and stuff. I'm giving them a little bit of a free promo right now. Little shout out for the Chess Dogs. They are starting a store, and they will have a venue to play tournaments at. So maybe they can help out with local tournaments in Utah area. Matt and Caden, yes, yes. So if you know Matt and Caden, let them know. Say, hey, we heard from Joe that you guys can help us out with running events, equipment, you name it. Even broadcasts. I know they're into streaming a little bit. They got themselves a YouTube and Twitch channel. So Matt and Caden, they're cool folk. I'm glad to have met them and talked to them. Caden's a grandmaster out there in Utah. I wish I knew them when I was living there. I no longer live in Utah. I've left. I've since left. I left a long time ago, over a year ago. Man, living in Utah felt not that far ago. I feel like time flies. But yeah, Utah was fun. I went skiing the last 3 days I lived there, and then sold my car and went off to Oregon. Now I'm back in sunny California, where it's been raining a lot lately. But today it's good weather. It's a bit windy. But all right, enough about the weather. Back to this chess match. We've got Brent taking on Jack Cook. This is a closer rating matchup compared to some of the other ones. But Brent was able to take down who was it? Solon? I don't know. Sacred Heart has 2 like crazy good players, but Utah has like 3 solid players, right? Their fourth board is like a bit significantly lower rated, uh, unfortunately for Austin. But all right, yeah, this is already not looking great. This was a anti-fried liver here, but not an ideal opening. Looks like Pluto grabs on e4 and gets the center opened up. Ooh, yeah, here rook takes with check. Uh, huh. Let's see, how is this gonna pan out? I guess bishop e6 is good. This move, queen takes d8, king takes, only move, so no more castling. Okay, rook comes with the fork. Okay, that was the problem. I missed that, but yeah, I mean Ryan is the board 4 for Sacred Heart and taking down Pluto with ease here. I mean, hey, the game's not over yet, but looking not great. Brent beat Austin last round. Oh, oh. I thought Brent was playing. I know. I was like foreshadowing the closest rating matchup in this entire match is going to be Brent versus Alex. But yeah, Brent beat Austin. So yeah, I guess the order of the boards is a little weird, but that's okay. Um, anyways, let's check in on Mark. the National Master playing in Division 7. Someone actually asked me the other day, like, hey, how is this team in this division? I'm not saying this team in particular, I'm just saying like in general. And so a lot of players and teams, they might have some confusion of like, hey, doesn't my rating cap, or doesn't the division have a rating cap? Well, the rating cap is to prevent new players from being added that will raise your average. However, throughout the season, there's nothing stopping players from improving their rating on their own. So the divisions are determined based off the rating at the time of registration, all right, at the registration deadline. So after that point, players can improve their ratings and a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, that's how we determine the divisions. Um, but yeah, some teams, they just have like really strong players, and there's a large gap, right? And so it's hard to turn teams away when they're registering. Um, but yeah, Sacred Heart is one of those teams. They just have two phenomenal players, and then their board three, Aiden Shamas, is 1,300, right? So the difference between their board two and their board three is almost 1,000 rating points. Now, hopefully, Sacred Heart can grow their club and get more players, but they're a smaller school, so it's hard for them. Um, and so the only way that we can really put them into a division as fair as possible is to just take an average of their top four players. That's our rules. Hello, Doran Rowe. How are you? Thank you, Fox, for the follow. Appreciate that. Welcome. If you're just tuning in, you're catching round 2 out of 4 between Sacred Heart and University of Utah. This is a playoff match, so the loser of this match will go home empty-handed. The winner moves on to the semifinals, and they will guarantee their club at least $150. So the Collegiate Chess League has $30,000 in prizes this season alone. It's $50,000 per school year, and the prizes are broken up between the divisions. So the higher the division, the higher the prize. This is Division 7. There are 14 divisions. So basically, this is like middle of the pack. This is the average, rating for the CCL teams. I'm good. Thanks for asking. So I'm just commentating on this match. This is the closest rating match right here. 2,200 versus 2,000. This is board 1 versus board 1. Typically, this is played in round 4, but I guess the players didn't have like their ratings added to their nice accounts, which is fine. Not too big of a deal. Now, if it's tied like 8-8 in the last round, then we will want to probably do a manual challenge. What's the highest rating you have seen in collegiate chess? Well, there's a couple players that are over 3,000 rated. Division 1 is our top division. The average team rating to make Division 1 is over 2,300. So you have to be over 2,300 in order to make Division 1. Division 1 is the top 16 teams in the entire league. So they have definitely got a lot of grandmasters in that division, some strong players. In fact, earlier today, about an hour ago, we finished watching UTRGV beat Arizona State. So UTRGV will go on to play against SLU next week in the semifinals. UTRGV actually played SLU in the Final Four yesterday in the USCF Championship, where they drew 2-2. So yeah, based off that tournament results, UTRGV is ranked 3rd in the country. SLU is 2nd. Webster won that tournament. But Webster is not competing in the Collegiate Chess League. Looks like Brent just beat Jack. So Brent's taking the lead for Sacred Heart here. Just really quickly looking at that game. So Brent with the white pieces. He's pushing these pawns forward, and he gets a a back rank mate. He takes here. Yeah, what an interesting little tactic, right? So pawn push, attacking the rook, and knight takes attacking this rook. However, there's rook takes pawn. He goes back, but he fails to see the back rank. All right. Looks like Ryan just beat Pluto, so not too big of a surprise there. Ryan is the fourth board for Sacred Heart. Getting a point there is actually pretty big. So with a team like Sacred Heart that's very top heavy, it's very important that their lower boards can get points as well, because even if the top two boards for Sacred Heart sweep everyone, they get a perfect 4 for 4 for both of them. That only gives Sacred Heart 8 points. In order to win this match, you need 8.5, which is over half of the points. So this match is out of 16 games because there's 4 games per player and 4 players per team. So out of 16, you need 8.5 to win. So because Ryan got a point for Sacred Heart on their fourth board, that's very advantageous for them. University of Utah is going to have to get results elsewhere somehow. So either an upset on one of the top two boards, which actually very well could happen right here, right now. This is the top board from Utah taking on the top board from Sacred Heart. So obviously, Mark is a national master. He's over 2,200. He is the favorite, but looks like he's actually losing here. As we see, White has this very strong 2-pawn advantage here, completely uncontested, as well as this rook. The bishop's hit. That is true. But maybe the bishop can move. All right, rook takes pawn. This allows for black to take on e5. I'm not sure if this was great. Does Oparin play in the CCL? He's the strongest college player as far as I am aware. Yes, Oparin does play in the CCL. Oparin plays for the Mizzou team in Division 1, and you can actually watch Mizzou take on University of Michigan tomorrow. So they plan on playing tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific. That's 7 p.m. Eastern. That's a quarterfinal match. The winner's guaranteed $1,000 in that match, and they're going to play the University of Texas at Dallas team. So that's a big match. Looks like Solid Air is just taking all these pawns. Planning on taking this one with check. This pawn is hanging. However, after this check, yeah, White just clearing the back ring. It's 2 on none. And this rook is just so powerful. Black may be going to try to double. This is an interesting move. Trying to mate this way, right? You think rook on the 7th. You try to mate that way. Rook. This is very interesting. This rook blocks that rook. So, anyways, this rook is cutting the king off this way. So, okay, very interesting technique here from Alex. All right. Let's check in on Slonos versus Shamus. So 1900 versus 1300, and this is actually kind of crazy. Slonos is way down on time, as well as down in the position. So this could be a huge upset win for Sacred Heart. Rook opposite the king. Knight is going to line up some discoveries. Rook hits the queen. You can go knight here if you want. Knight here's a discovered double check. You get a lot of points if you beat someone higher rated than you. Well, chess.com rated games is very different. Whoa, it hated this move. That's a free queen. The queen is hanging. Now the bishop is hanging. Do they see it? That's just a crazy blunder from both sides. Wow. Queen d8 or d6, forking the king and the bishop. Solonos had a free queen there. Unbelievable. That's just a crazy blunder time scramble. So yeah, Shamas working their magic against Solonos there. That's a check and a discovery on the rook. Oof. That's mate next. No, the queen gives a check. Okay, the queen was guarding that. Not a blunder, a Boa's gambit, exactly. Okay, well, you can get the rook back, but you're still getting mated, so that's not great. Oh my god, queen b4 was mate in 1! Missed! No way, go back. Don't go back. Holy smokes. You guys, Solonos is just like blundering left and right. You missed a free queen, you lose your bishop, and then you missed mate in 1. On b4, you missed it by a check. Holy smokes. That's just brutal, man. That's brutal. Oh, there's no more checks left. Holy cow. Knight check, king back. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. What's going on? Queen check. Don't get mated again. There's 2 moves. All right, Mark actually lost to Alex, so that's a big point for Utah. There's mate next. All right, Shamas. Shamas, I mean, it wasn't a perfect game, but they got the job done. They were blundering their queen, they're blundering mate in 1, but yeah, Solonos and time pressure unable to punish. And Sacred Heart takes the first lead of the match 5-3. It very well could be tied. Yeah, close. But yeah, props to Solid Alex for taking down Mark, and props to Aiden taking down Solonos. So Solonos, no points yet out of 2 games. Here we've got board 1 versus board 4. This is the biggest mismatch of the match. Mark is going to probably get a bounce back win after losing to Utah's top board. So, yeah, the match order is all out of sorts here. But shouldn't matter too much. But like I said, if we get to overtime, then the players should try to manually challenge, because 4th round should be top board versus top board and so forth. And the overtime match would be a repeat of that round. Should I follow? Do whatever you want. Do what's best for you. But yeah, if you're a fan of college chess, then this is the best channel for that. Look no further. But yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what to do. Do whatever you feel. All right, so here's Brent versus Solano. I think this is the closest rating match here. 2200 versus 1900. It's the one and only Joe. Yeah, I haven't streamed on my personal account in a while, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. All the support helps. We're really just trying to grow college chess, get the name out. Not a lot of people know that the Collegiate Chess League even exists. But we are the biggest college chess tournament. We have over 1,000 players that register every year. Like I said earlier, over 200 teams, 14 divisions, 16 teams per division. And we also have the largest prize fund of any college competition. So $50,000 every school year. It's not a joke. It's significant, and this money is going directly to the clubs and the players, and to support them, and hopefully allow them to compete in more events, maybe even host events, maybe use that for their own prize funding, or to pay for their club equipment, anything and everything that you can think of. So yeah, chess.com is doing a lot to support, and hopefully hopefully you guys can also support and help grow college chess. So, and thank you to you guys for supporting, because that helps me do what I am able to do, and also helps justify chess.com supporting me, as well as thank you to chess.com for supporting me, because without them, I wouldn't be able to be doing this. This is my full-time job, so I'm very blessed and appreciative and grateful and thankful. So yeah, love doing what I do. It's a blessing. And yeah, a large thank you as well to all of the players that are registering and competing, because without them, the league would not exist, and none of this would exist. So, huge shout out to the players as well as the captains that help organize, and anyone that's playing chess in college. You guys are awesome. You guys rock. You're crazy at chess. This isn't me. If you think I'm playing, I'm just commentating. But my rating's not far off from Brent. Brent is definitely a very strong player. He's improving as well. He's actually better than me now. So, um, hello, Ahmed. Welcome. Yeah, I used to stream like every day. I don't know what happened. I just got lazy. Anyways, bishop takes. I don't think that pawn was defendable, to be honest. Rook here, that pawn, and very important that they moved it earlier because it blocks this bishop. But the rook only hits the bishop temporarily, and the bishop has enough time to retreat, taking a nice central square. All right, if this knight moves, the rook attacks this pawn. So maybe knight here is a thing, but the pawn can just kick that knight out. We do see knight c4, but I'm expecting this, right? What else? The computer really likes the move bishop to f5, which attacks the knight. So yeah, b3 is definitely a bit more natural, right? You attack a piece. Knight here is a little annoying because that's going to hit the rook as well as the bishop. Luckily, the bishop is defended. Rook d1 also works because you're hitting the knight back here as well. So after this trade, probably you want knight takes, and that's actually going to be an issue because knight is going to hit the bishop and the rook's going to hit the knight. So if you take this bishop, black is actually losing a piece after knight takes. I don't see a way to get out of that. So knight takes is not possible, which means, what does that mean? Somebody tell me what needs to be done. Okay, computer's saying best line is to take, knight takes, and then the best move there is f5. This is not so easy to see, but the point is that if you take this, you take back, and now the knight's no longer hanging. If you take this, then black can take here, and you're no longer losing a piece. This move does not work. Why? Because, well, I was going to say, oh, this and that, you win a piece, but then you get back rank mated. But the move is not to take the free piece. The move is to fork the king and the rook. So Brent pulls out the tactic, and he's going to be up a piece. Nice finish there. So rook here was not the defense that black needed. Black needed to find the move f5. And because, like I was saying, if you take here, black takes here. And if you take here, black takes back. But the main point is that if you just simply, I don't know, move your knight away, I guess you're getting your bishop trapped. But anyways, doesn't matter. Brent gets the dub. Let's actually look at the last game that's being played. We have a couple of results in that I missed. So another point for Brent. He's at a perfect 3 for 3 right now, building onto the lead. We have Jack taking down Shamus. So Jack gets their second point. And we have Solidaire beating Ryan. Not too much of a surprise there. So Alex also a perfect 3 out of 3. So we're going to see Alex versus Brent in the fourth and final round. So Utah's getting some points back. They're only 1 behind Sacred Heart now after being down by 2. And what is going on in this game? This game is surprisingly close. Mark is, this is the biggest mismatch of the entire match. Mark at 2200 plus, Pluto at 800. So that's a whopping 1400 rating point difference. That's higher than some players' ratings in this match. Almost twice the rating of Pluto. Like, Mark is over double his rating. All right, anyways, you guys get the idea. It's a huge rating mismatch, but Pluto is putting up a heck of a fight. They're just down a lot of time. So overall, computer actually likes White's position, but the problem is he's got no time. Mark has over 3 minutes still on the clock, whereas Pluto is less than 15 seconds. There is the 2 second increment, but is it going to be enough? I highly doubt it. But props to them for getting this far. This is truly incredible. Is this a tournament? This is the Collegiate Chess League playoffs. So this is Division 7 out of 14. Um, there's money on the line in this match. The winner moves on to the the semifinals. This is quarterfinals right now. This is week 2 of the playoffs, and there's only 2 weeks left. So these are college teams competing online. They just finished their regular season, which is 7 matches, and this is like I said, week 2 of playoffs. So basically, these teams, to get to this point, they've just competed in 8 different matches. So this is their 9th match, and it's an elimination match. Once this team loses, they're eliminated from the playoffs. But if they win, they move on. So, all right, Mark finally wins. What a hard fight there, put up by Austin. But Mark is going to maintain Sacred Heart's 2-point lead, 7-5, going into the 4th and final round of this match. Just a quick reminder: Sacred Heart needs to get to 8.5 to win. So they only need 1.5 points against this Utah team. Utah's going to need to win the round by a lot if they want to keep their hopes alive, keep their season alive. This is it. This is do or die. So it's down to this last round, 4 games remaining. Utah, they need to win 3-1 in this round to force an overtime, because then both teams will be tied at 8 points each. If they're tied 8-8, they will play a 5th round, but at a faster time control. Right now, they're playing 5+2. The first round of overtime is 3+2, so it's still blitz. And if they're still tied, then they go on to 1+2. It's bullet with increment. So some exciting potential here. However, I think Sacred Heart should be able to close this one out, as they only need 1.5 points to win it. If they get even just 1 point, they're guaranteed to not lose in this 4th round. But they're not looking to not lose. They're looking to win. They're looking to advance to the next round and to send University of Utah home. All right, so we've got all 4 games underway. We've got Mark, who has struggled so far in this match. He barely was able to beat Austin, but had a ton of time left on his clock. However, he did lose earlier to Alex. So, well, I don't know who else. Has Solon really not gotten any points yet for Utah? Let's check on Solon. Solonos. Surely Solonos will win this one, right? Yeah, he lost a huge game to Aiden. No. He's playing. Oh, yeah, he did lose to Aiden. He's playing Ryan Richter now. So this is Sacred Heart's 4th board. So Utah should be able to get a point here. Let's check in with Brent. Brent versus Solidaire. Okay, I was saying that Brent versus Sloan is the closest matchup. This is actually the closest rating. Or is it? I don't know. Anyways, this is a big one. I mean, Alex, I'm going to say it. He needs to win this. He needs to take down Brent. But that's a tough task, because Brent is a perfect 3 for 3 so far today. But so is Alex. Neither of these players have lost. All right, they're absolutely perfect. And they're both looking to stay perfect. But, you know, they're strong players, both over 2,000. So, yeah, I mean, looks like White just has a lot of space in the center, and they've connected their rooks here. They've completed development. Black still has to develop the queen as well as the bishop. It's not so easy to do that. Brent does, however, have the bishop pair. So there is some form of compensation here. Bishop out to e3. It x-rays this a pawn a little bit. It's kind of awkward. I would not be surprised to see the move b6, just kind of shielding that, but also trying to prepare to this bishop development. You don't really want to put the bishop here because it's vulnerable from the knight. But bishop here would be a strong move. White, however, can counter in the center by pushing with d5. Also, getting the bishop out helps connect the rooks, so I wouldn't be surprised to see rook d1 later, opposite the queen. Just really nice and centralized. Brent is investing some time here trying to figure out, how am I going to catch up on development, right? Do I want to bring the queen out? Do I want to put the pawn here and get forked? That would be a blunder, right? So it's a natural looking move to get the bishop out. However, it does allow this knight fork. Interestingly, though, I will say this. If knight here forking the queen on the rook, the bishop can pin the knight to the queen. The queen is hanging here. But probably it tactically works out for white somehow, so I would still not go for this. Instead, we see Brent go with queen d6, developing the queen. Slightly more pressure on the knight, but the queen is still vulnerable here, right? You can get kicked very easily with the move c5. Kind of annoying, to be honest. Might be played, but it might not be, because c5 really weakens this d5 square. I was mentioning earlier that white wants to kind of play for d5. So, solid move. Still a lot of chess left to be played in that game. We're going to come back to it later as it's more developed. We're going to check in on some of the lower rated board action here. Pluto has yet to win a match. However, this is going to be Pluto's best opportunity. It's their last opportunity. This is a king that has moved. So guarding this c2 square from getting forked. Yeah, Pluto has an advantage here. Can they hold on and convert it? It's going to be tough, but it's possible. Your team scrubs all the way. Hello, Denish. Good to see you. Yeah, shout out to Chessweeb. Yay, Chessweeb is such a fan. He not only watches the broadcast when his good friend Ilya is commentating, but he even watches the broadcast when it's just me all by my lonesome, and I'm watching some 800 rated players playing against 1300 rated players. Danish is just a fan of college chess like that. Danish just built diff, as some would say, you know? I don't yeah, like I bring on Ilya and Vasif to do commentary over Webster and Slew and all of that. But would they come on to commentate Sacred Heart University versus University of Utah? Who knows? In Division 7? You're a big fan of Joe? Wow. You know, you were cheering on Theodoro, and I asked Ilya, why? Like, are you a fan of his? And he was like, oh, I don't think Danish is a fan of anyone. But now I can screenshot and quote that you're a big fan of me, and prove Ilya wrong. So Ilya's known you for I don't know how long, but it looks like I know more than Ilya, perhaps. Yeah, it's Chessweeb. You guys, everyone say hi to Chessweeb. That's one of the cool things I think Danish does, or that he has done on his streams, is I'll tune in and he'll be like, all right, everyone say hi to Joe. It's so sweet. All right. Anyways, dude, Pluto playing so well. Look at this. Rook on the second. Infiltrate using this. Would you consider this an outpost? I feel like outpost squares are usually like f5 or something. Like, this is a beautiful place. I was thinking the knight should move, because then the king can come up and try to attack the pawn. But now when the knight moves, the rook is cutting this king off. That's why rooks on the second are so strong. The accelerated outpost. Man. All right, look at this bishop now. It's been activated. This pawn is hanging, by the way, so watch out. If you try to defend, probably you want to push the pawn. Computer is saying b3. You want to go to b3 because the knight defends it there. Yeah, what's wrong with b4? I don't know. Well, anyways, yeah, probably should double the rooks at some point. Um, hmm. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, the knight has moved, but this gives up the b pawn, right? Rook takes b2. It's a strong move. It wins the pawn. Winning pawns is good. So, and we saw Pluto play really well against Mark, against all odds. He just was low on time, so he needs to watch his clock. So yeah, Utah, they're still in it. If they could get a big point here from their fourth board, that would be huge. Okay, bishop here, getting spicy, as they say. King here, a blunder. The computer loves this move, which is threatening to win this guy in the corner. However, rook takes b2 is still pretty solid. We'll see. There's also a check. I don't know how good that is, but it's a move. Like, at any point, you could take on b2, by the way. So, okay, check has been inserted. The king might continue its run. It has. Now taking here is pretty good. Pretty good. Don't push this pawn. That'd be pretty bad. It looks tempting, but remember, you need the pawn for the outpost. All right, the b2 pawn has been captured. Yeah, Pluto's playing a game. Playing a heck of a game here. All right, bishop here looks pretty good too. Computer's calling for this move as well. This move is probably pretty good. Okay, this guy's going. But, oh, wow. Wow, giving up the knight. I was expecting this, but that allows the discovery. So that makes sense. Yeah, just winning a piece there. So black is up a piece. Let's check in on the other games. Okay, Mark just beat Jack. So not too surprising there. Man. Yeah, it did not like, it liked this. Ooh, that was missed. That was a big opportunity and so much time on the clock there too. Wow. So knight here and ooh, that's just a skewer that was missed. Holy smokes. All right. Oh, and then white promotes. Okay. Oh, we have a draw from Brent and Alex. So neither of them lose. They're both at 3.5. Mark gets a big point. So that's actually all that Sacred Heart needs. That might be why Brent agreed to a draw there, to be honest. I don't know if Alex knew the match situation, but after the win from Mark, Utah was in a must-win situation on all remaining boards. So with that, Utah's season comes to an end, and Sacred Heart, they win a spot in the Final Four, as well as a guaranteed prize of $150. That's if they get fourth place, right? And they could lose next week and the week after that, get fourth place, and that 150 is, it's guaranteed. So, but they're gonna fight for more. They have an opportunity to win even more. Solonos here gets their first win, but it's a little too late, unfortunately. And looks like Shamas and Pluto drew by repetition. Wow. So black is just completely crushing up a bishop here. Up a bishop, and they agreed to a draw. Maybe at this point they knew that the match score did not matter, but I'm sure Pluto could have definitely fought on to get a full point there if they wanted to. But yeah, Shamas ends with 1.5. Pluto at least gets on the board. So final score, it was a close one, 9-7. Sacred Heart wins by a score of 2. So that's it for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in and joining. Congratulations to Sacred Heart for moving on, and congrats to Utah on a good season. They end in the quarterfinals, so top half of their division. Hopefully they come back again next year. And yeah, good luck to Sacred Heart moving forward. So next week they're playing in the semifinals, where they're gonna try to compete for even more prize money as well as a spot in the finals. So good luck to them. I'm not sure who they're gonna compete against. But if you want to check that out, we have brackets over at !Nace. Hello, Brent. How are you? Hello, Brody. We got a couple of BR names, Brent and Brody. All right. Thanks for introducing me to collegiate chess. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll be back next time. Well, speaking of next time, that's going to be tomorrow. We have a couple of matches going on. But the big one to look out for is going to be University of Michigan taking on Mizzou. That's going to be for the final spot in the semifinals of Division One. That's $1,000 on the line. That's going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific. So be there or be square. The winner of that match is going to go on to play against UT Dallas, who had a thrilling victory in overtime against the University of Chicago. So this is UT Dallas's first season playing at full strength. They've played before, but not with their main team. Now that they have their main team in it, they're trying to win it all in their first season. So they've made it to the semifinals. Are they going to play against Michigan or Mizzou? I definitely think Mizzou is the favorite, but they're going to have to prove it tomorrow. So definitely check that out. And then we're going to have the last 4 teams remaining in Division 1. So I will be there. Hope to see you all then. But for now, take care of yourselves. Thank you. And I will send you off on a raid. So stick around for that. Is Ohio State a good chess team? They do have a chess club. If you want to find them, you can join our Discord. We have a lot of teams there that you can meet and learn more about their clubs. If you do ! Clubs, actually, you will see a full list. You can find Ohio State's socials and their club page on chess.com. There's a lot. There's like, there's over 100 schools there. That's like not even fully updated, to be honest. Our college ambassador program is huge. We have over 250 schools. You can find out more about that at !Cap. The college chess world is so large, and it's my job to connect everyone and to just grow this community. So, yeah, there's colleges everywhere, and all colleges should have a chess club. And all college chess clubs should be competing in the Collegiate Chess League and join the ambassador program. So, if there's any schools there that you know of, definitely reach out to them. And if there's any schools that you know they have chess clubs but they're not competing, let me know or let them know. Like, I know University of Kansas has a chess club. They haven't joined anything. Same with Vanderbilt. Like, what the heck, guys? Come on. All right. Well, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting and head out and get dinner. But I'll see you all hopefully tomorrow. All right. Take care. Thanks. Bye.